Hi lovely people, welcome to my channel. This is Elegant Fashion Tutorial. My name is Charles Peace. So in today's video we'll be making a front twist dress. It will be very beautiful and easy to achieve, but somehow technical. But don't worry, it will be very easy for you. The items you need are your pattern paper, your tape measurement, your ruler, your scissors, and your fabric. Now, the first thing you will do is to draft out your basic body. This is my basic body. You can see that the measurement I use here: bust measurement of 38 inches, waist measurement of 34, and hip measurement of 38 inches. The length of the dress will be 39 inches. Remember, before you do this, you have to cut out your back piece. After drafting out your basic body, you use it and cut out your back piece first. Remember to add your zip allowance because the front one is not having any zipper, so the back one will have 2 inches allowance for your zipper. So don't forget to cut out your back piece first. Then after that, I've already cut out my back piece. Now the next thing if you want it to be fitted, now you have to make use of your bodycon measurement. What do I mean? You have to remove 1 inch from your measurement to make it very fitted the way you want it. But this is how I want it, not too fitted and not too loose. So I'll be using this pattern paper. I've already drafted out my basic body. Remember, this is my armhole, this is my waistline, and this is my hip line. Now we'll be making use of this center line. Remember, the twist, it will not be directly at the center, so it will shift a bit from the center. So now this is the center line. You can see the line as the center line. Then from my waistline, I will mark 2 inches upward. This is 2 inches upward. After 2 inches upward, then from this point I'll measure out 3 inches inward. Don't be confused. 2 inches upward from the waistline. Then from the midline, you measure 3 inches away from the midline. Then I'll connect it with a straight line. You should make sure it's 2 inches. Okay. So these this point here. So this is where our twist will form. Not directly at the center, but here. That's where we want to base our twist. Now the next point, from the armhole, you measure 2.5 inches downward. This is 2.5 inches downward. While from this waistline, I will measure 3 inches downward. Don't be confused. From the armhole, I measure 2.5 inches downward, while from the waistline, I'll measure 3 inches downward. Now we have 3 points here. This point, and this point. So we'll be joining the whole lines to connect to this point here. With a straight line, your pencil and your ruler. So I've already connected the 2 lines to this 3 inches away from the midpoint. This is the armhole, 2.5 inches, and from the waistline I measure 3 inches away to meet at these 3 points, 3 inches here. We are done with this side. I remember this is the left side. Now from the right side here, I'll still measure out 2.5 inches from the armhole. This 2.5 inches here, I'll connect it to this line, and as well connect from this hip line to this point with my long ruler. And see, we are done with the lines. So the first thing I'll do now to put a slash line on. If you want it, you can remove. If you're having 2 inches allowance, you can make it 1 inch. You can reduce your allowance by 1 inch depending on how fitted you want it. So now I'll put my slash line on the 4 parts. We are now having 4 parts. You can number it like this. This is number 1, this is number 2, this is number 3, and this is number 4, so that you will not be confused. Then I'll put my slash line on the 4 parts. Now I'm putting my slash lines. Now I'll be cutting it into 4 pieces. Remember, we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. You can see the major lines is thicker, so I will cut it. You can see what we are having here. Now if you are done, the next thing you would do now is to cut out the slash lines. You carefully cut it off. You can use your scissors or your pattern cutter to do that. Now I've already slashed all the lines. You can see that. So the next thing I will do now is to pick 1 and 3. I'll keep 2 and 4 aside. Then I'll pick 1 and 3 to place in my reference paper. Now you pick your 1 and 3 and place it on your reference paper. You can see my reference paper here. And then spread it. While you're spreading, you should make sure the last 2 tails should touch each other. Then use your glue or your tape to hold it. Now I've already spread it. You can see the shape. Now I will mark the middle point of my neckline with my marker, and as well, this is the waistline, remember. So I'll mark this side. Then the next thing I will do now is to trace these lines. I'll trace it all together on the reference paper. Now I've already marked it with my pencil. Then I'll remove it. The neckline, and this is the waistline. You can see the lines. Now I'll cut it out with my scissors. So this is what we are having. Remember, what we are working on here is 1 and 3. So now I'll pick the last one, being 2 and 4. Now we'll pick the 2 and 4. This is 2 and 4. I'll spread it and make sure the two edges, the last point here, is touching each other. Then with your tape, you hold them together and then mark it round to bring out the shape. Now this is the down part. I'll be cutting it out now. Okay guys, we are done with the pattern. This is the down part, while this is the upper part. Now we're going to be placing it on our fabric to cut it out. That's the next thing to do. Now the first part, let's start with the upper part first. This is the upper part. Now, this is my fabric. I'll be cutting it out. Now I'm done with the front. Now this is the down part. I'll cut it out now. Now I've already cut out the down part. This is the down part. We are now in sewing. The first step now we'll do is to take the upper part. This is the upper part. Now the first thing I will do is to take this edge here and drag it to this point. Remember, this is where we cut it out from. So leaving 1 inch allowance here. I'll just leave 1 inch, then I'll run straight stitch on this place. I'll just sew it straight, leaving only 1 inch. Then I'll show you the next thing we'll be doing. Okay, I've sewed this side. You can see that from this point to this point, and I left 1 inch allowance where I will drag the other side out from. So this is how it is. Now the next thing I will do, as it is like this, I will pick the down part. This is the down part of my fabric, and this is the front part as well. So I'll pick the two edges like this, and I'll have to drag it out from this hole. I'll pass it through this hole here to form our twist. You can see. Now you can see how it is. Then I will drag it as you're dragging it. You can see that our twist has already formed. I'll pick this side as well to drag it to this edge. You can see we have achieved our twists. You can see how it is. Very beautiful and lovely. So what we'll do now is to, from the back, I'll sew these two edges, sew here, and close up here. So now I'll go to my sewing machine and sew all the lines. I'll sew it through this back side. I'll pick it. After sewing it, I'll tell you the next thing we'll be doing. You can see we form the twist here. Very beautiful. See all the joints where I joined it. And in this place, there is still an opening. You can see that. What I'll do now is to close it up. Now I'll go to my sewing machine and close this place up so that it will be tight. Then I'll show you the next thing we'll be doing. So guys, this is the back. You can see. And this is the front. This is the front. You can see how beautiful it is. You can see we have formed our twists. See how it is, very beautiful. So this is the front part. You join your back. Remember, the back will be having zipper as you wish. If you want it to have a zipper, you join it, add your sleeve, and your dress is ready. I hope you like this video. Thank you guys for watching. Do you like this video? Drop your comment at the comment section. If you are new to my channel, subscribe to my channel. Click on the bell icon to be notified anytime I publish another video. Bye until I see you in my next video.